Hello, FemCity members. I am Violette Ayala. I'm the founder of FemCity, and you're joining me today for our Wednesday series. Today, we're talking about up-leveling your life, up-leveling your business. I have asked these three beautiful FemCity Global members to join me today in the conversation. If you're watching this live, we encourage you to join the conversation, add comments, questions, any aha moments that you have. If you're watching the replay later on, you can always reach out to any of us for advice or anything we can do to help you. You can always reach out to us. So I know a lot of femmes watch these, they kind of binge them on the weekends. So if you are watching this months from now, always remember that you can continue the conversation with us. We're here collectively to help you design and live a beautiful life and have a thriving business. So for our panel today, I think you guys know these women. They've been on our panel before. We're just going to hop in, just share a little quick nugget about who you are. We'll go to Lorrie, Regena, and Tammy. Lorrie, share a little bit about who you are.
Hi, Femmes. I'm Lorrie Thomas Ross, and I'm a transformational marketing guide and retreat leader, and I work with intentional women to help them live both on brand and on purpose.
Awesome. Perfect. Let's go to Regena.
Hello, Femmes. I'm Regena Rosa Celeste. I'm an internal peace vision guide, and I help conscious-minded entrepreneurs and ladies especially to live with more purpose and passion and peace using tools of mindfulness in the workplace and at home.
Love it. And Tammy?
Hi, I am Tammy Grable-Woodford. I'm a global FemCity member, as Violet said, and I help entrepreneurs and small business owners get unstuck, say goodbye to overwhelm, and break through stubborn plateaus to get to profitability. I also host my globally recognized podcast, Your Killer Life, which tackles the topic of breast cancer, as I am a 6-year survivor. And frankly, cancer was the catalyst that took me out of that executive career and got me to put my MBA to use, servicing others and creating a life I intentionally love, actually up-leveling my life. So I'm excited for this topic.
I love that. And I know all of us have up-leveled our life. And so before we even get started with the tips that these beautiful femmes are going to share with us today, when we talk about up-leveling today, we're talking about that moment in your life or in your business where you know you're kind of lingering about, but there's something greater on the other side. You know that you're destined for something bigger than where you are right now, but you're not really quite sure how to get there. You're kind of just in that state of, I don't want to call it mediocrity, but a place of just being in this like average space and knowing that there's more for you in life. And then how do you get to that place? I remember having that moment before I started my Pilates studio. I remember having that moment. I was in the car and I was like, I know that life is supposed to be more for me. I know that there's more I'm supposed to be doing. And I really had to dive in. That's when I started my Pilates studio. But just, I remember the street I was on and everything, just having that in the awakening. So I know femmes just want to get right to the tip. So let's go for it. Lorrie, what is your number one tip for femmes that are looking at up-leveling their life or their business or both?
My number one tip is to retreat. We have to disconnect to reconnect. Sometimes we call it unplugging to recharge. And when you go on retreat, either self-guided or with a coach or a leader, it really gives you that space and place to give yourself that space to listen. And if you look at the words silent and listen, they have the same letters. So I'll leave it at that. But that has transformed my life and my business and what I now help women do too. It's amazing.
I love that. And that's exactly what you captured it perfectly. That's exactly what happened to me that moment, sitting in my car and knowing that I had to dive in deep to say, like, what is it? I was actually applying for jobs and I was thinking, if I'm going to do this role, I might as well do this role for myself and start my own business. But having that reflection, having that time to just be away from noise, to really kind of dive deep and see what that really meant for my future. Regena, what is your number one tip for femmes looking to up-level their life or business?
Well, I got to say, Lorrie, I love that. Listen and silent. I've actually thought about that before, but I never did the homework to see it. So thank you for that. That was great. And yeah, I would definitely say being truthful with ourselves, which sometimes is not easy. It's one of the hardest things, I think, for most of humanity, is to actually look at themselves in the mirror and ask, what is it that I want? And who am I willing to be in order to get that? And sometimes that means doing the shadow work, looking at parts of ourselves that are not pretty or not attractive, and changing that if that's what we really want for ourselves, is to be more. We have to let go of what doesn't serve us.
Yeah. And you're so right. There's such an uncomfortable place in that, right? Because you've got to be real. You've got to look to see what's really going on in our lives. You can't be pretending anymore with your rose-colored glasses on. You have to be real. And that's an icky place, by the way. Every time people I'm like, it's icky. It's icky to go through that stuff. It's never glamorous or beautiful. It's a lot of crying, a lot of tears. Tammy, what is your number one tip for femmes looking to up-level their business or their life?
I love this. And really to add to what Lorrie said about getting silent and listening, and what Regena just said about being honest with yourself, and to go back to what you said, Violet, my number one tip for up-leveling is really defining what that means for you, because up-leveling can mean that you want to grow or expand or step up your game. It can be physical, mental, financial, spiritual. It is really defined by you. And so my number one tip is to define what up-leveling means to you, and be careful not to base your next level of success on what you see in someone else or what someone else has. You have to do that gut check and ask yourself, is this what I really want? And is this how I define up-leveling for me in this area? And then once you do that, you've got to get explicit in identifying those event horizons and end results that are going to actually validate and define when you have achieved that level. So until you know where you're going, right, it's kind of hard to do those other things. And so it's really important. If you're up-leveling your business, your fitness, how is it defined? And how do you know that you got there?
I love that, Tammy. And there's so many femmes I know that they don't know what that part 2 is in their life, or that next step. And so they're taking on responsibilities and activities that are not in alignment. And they get tired, they get exhausted, they're burnt out, because you're doing all this activity, but it's not in alignment to where you're going. And then where do you want to go, right? Like we're spending so many hours doing the activities that are not filling our cup, or not really in alignment with the purpose that we're so called to do. Gosh, those are great. Those are like 3 amazing tips. I love that. So let's go. Let's start wrapping up. I know we're kind of on a speed thing today, but we wanted to bring you just the best nuggets possible. Lorrie, what is your final tip for femmes looking? Perhaps they're not believing in themselves. Perhaps they've been like lingering in that place for a while. What's your final tip for them? And then how can femmes find you to learn more about the work you're doing in this world?
I find in order to get clear, you need to allow yourself to get unapologetic, or to be unapologetic. Women especially carry so much, I call it fatigue, obligation, and guilt. And when you get to a point where you're like, not sorry, like, no, I actually want to do my work at the pool today. I want to bring, like, my dog sitting next to me. I want to bring my dog to my business meeting. I want to wear that loud leopard dress to the, stiff, stodgy business club. When you show up in a way that's really unapologetically you, and you get clear on what that looks like, then you renegotiate contracts better. Then you alter your business, or you stand and come into relationships personally and professionally in really gorgeous ways.
Yeah, that's incredible. Love that tip. And I love your shirt. It says Chat Hills.
Chat Hills. Yes.
Love it. Thank you so much, Lorrie. And how can femmes find you to learn more about the work you're doing in this world?
LorrieThomas.com, or just Google Lorrie Thomas. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all the places.
Awesome. And Lorrie has been a global member for a while, so you may have taken some of her classes. If not, head over to the FemCity library. There are some great classes she's taught there about marketing. Let's go to Regena. What is your final tip for those femmes that are looking at up-leveling their life and their business, and how can femmes find you to learn more about the work you're doing in this world?
So my final tip is start wherever you are, because I think one of the biggest things that I've learned in my own life, and also working with students and clients, is that we're oftentimes looking back to see all the things we didn't do right. And one of the things I love about FemCity is we're really big about our wins and celebrating each other. So find an accountability club or sisterhood or brotherhood, whatever it is that calls to you, and really allow yourself to be where you are, and know that if you surround yourself with people that are encouraging and loving and supportive, you will get to the next phase. But you got to be willing to start where you are. And if you're open to possibilities, it means you have a purpose, you have a goal of something better, and not to shame yourself for that, because there's a reason that you feel that more is available, because it is, and really trusting. So, yeah. And that, to me, that goes in with self-love, right? It goes back to what both Tammy and Lorrie have said, which I love, which is just knowing who you are and loving yourself and not being sorry for it, and really owning that with confidence and with grace.
Yeah. I love that, Regina. And, that has been coming up more and more as we start talking more about money. One of my goals for 2021 for our members is to talk more about money and revenue and scalability. And what you're saying, I think, is applicable for that also. That we're constantly looking back and regretting, like, I shouldn't have done that. And I can't believe I did that. And I got myself in this situation, this and that. So always looking back, spending that energy, looking behind you, instead of just giving yourself grace and allowing yourself to just, forgive yourself. And then now what? How do I move forward? And some love came through today, right now, from Sina Lewis. Just jumped on. Love this, fits my spirit and language. Great messages. Thank you. So thanks so much, Regina. Did you share how Femmes can find you?
Not yet. Thank you. Thank you so much. So one way is you can text me at yoga. You can text the word yoga to 64600, and I have a free gift on there I'd love to share. And then also my website, and my website is internalpeacenow.com. And then I'm on all the social medias just like everybody else. So Internal Peace Now.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Let's go to Tammy. Tammy, what is your final advice for femmes looking to up-level their life and business?
Really builds on what Regina just said, and that is to reach out and use your resources. There are so many ways to up level, but until you're clear on that first step, it is hard to plan your route to success. It's kind of like opening a map and trying to route a plan without a final destination. So I think that entrepreneurs are too often in this mindset where they think they have to do it alone. And the reality is that you don't. So reach out to community, use the resources that are available to you, ask for an assist. There are mentors, coaches, consultants that will help you along the way, some paid, some free. And once you've defined what up-leveling means, build your plan for success and reach out to those that can support you, guide you, and cheer you on. I love connecting with entrepreneurs, and you can find me. Honestly, the best place to find me is where you found me. I love connecting and helping folks grow, and it would be an honor to connect with anyone watching today or watching later. You can always slide into my DMs. You can go to my website, tanya.com. You can also find me in the FemCity.com members directory. I am out there as well, and definitely connect. I offer a free 30-minute strategy call, and I'm happy to get on a call and see how much we can get done in 30 minutes at no cost to you, because it's all about value. And that's where you can find me.
Thank you so much, Tammy. I love you had a post today just talking about community and the resources and support. I love your post today. I'm going to share it with others. But when we don't have that support, that community around us, it makes the struggle more difficult. I mean, it's already challenging enough for us to be entrepreneurs, but doing it alone is really, really, it's very hard. And so you leverage other women. You use each other to move forward, to gather collaboratively, collectively, so that we all win. Anyway, just love that. And we are done. Thank you so much, Sina Lewis, for your comment. I have it there. It's just so beautiful. And for those that have not tried out FemCity, we invite you to head over to FemCity.com and try us out for free for 30 days. And let us know how these tips helped you. If you are using these tips, keep in touch. We want to know about your successes. We want to know how it moved you forward. We want to know how it propelled you into the next level. We can't wait to cheer you on, and we'll be back here next week. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Thanks so much. Bye.